what I've developed here is for you not to become just a head and bones. And as a CEO, a high-level deal maker, or anyone with real money, being fat, I would even say moderately out of shape, is unacceptable. You should be able to go to a steakhouse, rush everything you want, and still have abs. And the truth of the matter is that being fat, you're unhappy, but you're also not reaching your potential because your physical appearance, it speaks volumes about your business and how you treat others because it's how you treat yourself. And truly, I don't care if you have $100 million. If you can't see your pecker, can't see your toes, and you got a 10 with you, life's miserable because you know she's with you just for the money. And maybe you don't care, but if you had abs and you looked good, even if you knew she was with you for the money, you'd feel much better about it. You don't know what you don't know. Sometimes we think we have 30 or 40 extra pounds on us to lose, but it's really somewhere around 100 or 80. And we don't know how good we would feel if we actually lost that weight. Strenuous exercise is the keystone of this program, and specifically what type of strenuous exercise. It all comes down to two things. We have hot boot camps and we have hot Pilates. The boot camps are with weights and kettlebells, and the Pilates is with rubber bands and weights and blocks, but it works. And it works because you're in 103-degree heat and it's humid. You can get a 2-person wooden infrared sauna for $2,200. That you don't have to do, but the non-negotiable is the boot camp and the Pilates. And that's because in the heat, our body produces heat shock proteins. And what those heat shock proteins do is they reduce inflammation and they also protect our telomeres. And every time a cell splits, the telomeres get shorter. And the shorter those telomeres get, the closer to death we get to. So heat shock proteins reduce our biological age. And the way you get those heat shock proteins is by working out in extremely hot temperatures. Think Bikram yoga type heat. I'll even let you get away with 4 times a week working out in the hot room. But ideally, if you really want to build muscle and burn fat, you're going 5 times a week. Extremely high quality food. I live in Las Vegas and I have my food flown in from Pennsylvania, from Gap, Pennsylvania. And the food is from Amish farmers. So 2 to 3 times a month, I have my food delivered from a farm in Pennsylvania. And we really just want to make sure that our food comes from as close to the source as possible. Because even though we think Whole Foods is really high end, it's a grocery store and everything in the grocery store is mass produced. Think of input equals output. So the higher the quality we put into the machine, the higher the quality we get out of the machine. And it's just like running our business. And it's slightly selfish of me, but when I go to sleep at night, I like knowing that the animals that I purchased from the farmers lived not in cages, lived stress-free lives, ate high-quality food, and when they were killed, they weren't scared and filled with cortisol. And there's clearly a difference when we're fueling our brain, which is primarily fed off of glucose, which is sugar, when we're feeding it the right intake versus the wrong intake. For example, soda would be miserable. I gave soda up in 2020. That's the only New Year's resolution I ever stuck to. If sourcing from trusted farms or vegetable markets sounds like a lot, you're a boss, you're a CEO, you're a high-level performer, you can figure it out, or you can have your assistant do it. There's plenty of farms that deliver food off the internet. Eating extremely high-quality food, non-negotiable. Basically, everything in the grocery store is poison. The water coming out of the tap is giving people diarrhea. It's like living in Mexico. And if you're serious about your nutrition, your performance, most importantly, your health, you'll just spend the money on the food. Let's say you're spending $250 to $300 3 times a month with the Amish or a local farm. You're getting way more food than you're getting at the grocery store. And number 2, you're getting better food. And also you literally can eat less of it because it has nutrition in it. The other stuff at the grocery store has 0 nutrition. So what do we eat? I literally eat the same thing every day. 90-10 ground beef. I didn't put potatoes in there, but I shouldn't put potatoes in there. You can eat, some people call them sweet potatoes, yams, regular potatoes. You can eat potatoes. Raw milk, eggs, sourdough, any type of quality bread with the sourdough in it. Fermented foods, kefir. I bought a gallon of kefir for $27 and it was okay. But if it works with your stomach, go ahead and use it. Seasonal real organic vegetables. Remember, we want to get the vegetables from the source. Vegetables from the grocery store, just like the tap water, are giving people diarrhea. Everyone's getting diarrhea because they're eating vegetables. Crazy. And why is that? It's because they're grown with diarrhea. So if you eat diarrhea, you get diarrhea. Think about that. And last but not least, Amish cookies. Amish cookies and Amish ice cream are made with coconut sugar, organic chocolate, and other delicious natural ingredients. I'm drinking Amish chocolate milk every single day. I'm eating Amish cookies. I'm eating Amish bagels, and I'm just putting muscle because it's real food. Basically, when you order from a farm and you spend the extra money, it's like eating in Europe. It's like you're in Europe, except you have air conditioning and it doesn't suck. So once again, remember, this is not a fad diet. You can eat anything you want, literally anything you want, as long as it's high quality and not processed. Anything that's highly processed, you just don't eat it. If it's in the frozen aisle, you don't eat it. If it's in the vegetable aisle, you don't eat it. I don't know if you're seeing a theme here. If it's at the grocery store, you don't eat it. If it has xanthium gum or other stuff like cellulose powders, fillers, if it says bioengineered, it's diarrhea. It's going to give you diarrhea. It's not even real food. And anything that's ultra processed or fake. What would be something that's fake? Everything at the grocery store. And anything that's non-organic or conventionally raised. And even when it says organic at the grocery store, it's organic in Mexico, it's organic in Argentina, it's organic in Venezuela. It's got diarrhea on it. So you're going to get diarrhea. Now, I know that may sound strict, right? But once you start eating that real food, once you taste beef from one cow that was only ran through the processor once, you're going to never want to go out to dinner again. You're going to think you're just eating slop everywhere you go unless you cook at home. Because real food rewires your brain. It rewires your cravings. And once your body knows what nutrition is, it craves the difference. It doesn't want to eat lettuce with diarrhea on. This is largely based off of a bodybuilding diet. However, we've modified it slightly for athletic performance. I'm going to go through an example based on myself. And if you want, you can grab a piece of paper, a pen, maybe your notes, and you can do your numbers right next to mine. To start, we're going to put our protein at 1.25 grams per lean pound of body mass, meaning not what we weigh without our body fat. We're going to get into that in a moment. We're going to have our fat set at 0.5 grams per pound of lean body mass, and we're going to fill in the back end, the carbs, the rest, which is roughly 40 to 45%. We're going to find our basal metabolic rate by using the Sterling-Passmore equation. I'll leave the link in the description below. We're going to take my weight, which is 185 pounds, and we're going to subtract 12% body fat, which gives us 162.8 pounds of lean body mass. We're going to round up to 163 pounds. We're then going to multiply that 163 by 13. In the Sterling-Passmore equation, a man is 13.8 calories to maintain 1 pound of muscle. Some studies have it at 11. I just use the number 13. We take 13, we multiply it by 163, and that gives us 2,119 calories as our basal metabolic rate. That means just sitting here, blinking, breathing, doing nothing all day, I'm burning 2,119 calories. So in order to find our true daily caloric intake, we need to factor in our activity level. I like to use modest numbers. As you can see here, Sterling-Passmore, they have 5 numbers. They have sedentary, light activity, moderate activity, high activity, very high activity. I'm going to the classes 5 times a week. I should be using a number of 1.55 or 1.72. I use a modest number of 1.3. 1.3 times 2,119 is 2,750 calories a day. So I can eat 2,750 calories a day for optimal performance. What does that look like in a diet? At the end of the day, it breaks down to roughly 22 ounces of beef and 6 cups of rice. Let me show you how we get there. We take the 1.25 grams of protein and we multiply that by the 163. It brings us to approximately 816 calories from protein, because every gram of protein is 4 calories. We then find out the fat. We take 163 and we divide it by 2. That's 0.5, and that gives us 82 when we round up. 82 times 9 is 738 calories. When we add the 816 and the 738, it comes out to 1554. We're going to call it 1550. The remaining calories that we have are 1200. Since we know there's 4 calories per gram of carbohydrates, that's 300 grams of carbs per day. If you divide that by 50, that's 6 cups of rice. 204 grams of protein, 82 grams of fat, and 300 grams of carbs.